Did you ever wonder why Peter cut off the ear of Malchus when Judas brought the scribes and the Pharisees to betray him? I want to share something because it wasn't just a random act of Peter. There was something that led up to this. So in Luke chapter 22, and I'm going to paraphrase some of this, and I'm going to actually read some of the verses. That way it's not too long, but you can read this yourself. This is in Luke chapter 22, starting in verse 31. But the Lord told Simon Peter that Satan had sought to sift him, and that he prayed for him that he would not fail. And then he told him that once you're converted, strengthen your brethren. So if we go down a little bit further to verse 35, Jesus said to them, when I sent you out last time, I sent you out without a purse, without a script, without shoes. Did you lack anything? And they said, nothing. And he said, but now, in verse 36, he says, but now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his script. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. So if you go down to verse 38, the disciples said to Jesus, Lord, we have 2 swords. And Jesus said to them, that is enough. So then right after that, the disciples fall asleep and Jesus tells them, can you not watch and pray with me for an hour? Then they end up waking. And if you go down to verse 49, okay, Judas has already come. He has already brought the scribes and the Pharisees. He already betrayed him with his kiss. And then in verse 49, it says, when they which were about him saw what would follow, they said unto him, Lord, shall we smite with the sword? And one of them smote the servant of the highest priest and cut off his ear. And Jesus said, suffer ye thus far. And he touched his ear and he healed him. So Peter didn't just randomly cut Malchus's ear off. Before they fell asleep in the garden, Jesus had warned them to take a sword. Jesus had warned them that they were going to need that sword to protect themselves. And so when they came at Jesus, the first thing Peter did was to try to protect Jesus by cutting off the ear of Malchus. But the Lord said to him in verse 51, suffer ye thus far, which basically what he was saying to them is, not yet. Like, I need to die on the cross. This has to come to pass. So don't start what I just told you until later. So I just want to share that little nugget of information. So again, that's in Luke chapter 22, starting in verse 31, and it goes down to around verse 51. So hope that gives you a little bit of insight and wisdom on why Peter cut off Malchus's ear. It wasn't just a random thing. He did it because he thought that's what he was supposed to do. God bless.